Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Steven. You guys are watching the Fowler Air Gun channel. I want to talk a little bit about something I like to pick up a lot in the house. Anytime I have pest animals, whether it be the chipmunks or the sparrows or just anything that's really in a place where it shouldn't be, I've been grabbing this a lot. This was an Umarex Fusion 2, and I've modified the death out of it now. And essentially what I've been doing is shooting several round ball ammunition out of this at one time, so it acts sort of like a shotgun, and up close to 60 foot-pounds of energy. So pretty cool stuff here. Anyways, I figured I'd bring it out today and we'd do a little bit of shooting around with it. And specifically today, I have a couple targets out here right now. I really want to do some energy test here, and basically this is going to be to see how much energy I'm really getting out of this. Now when it goes over the chronograph, it's kind of looking more like one projectile, because these are 8-shot round ball following each other out behind, going over the chronograph. So I may be getting a reading of 500 feet roughly per second, sending that down range. But when it gets out, that pattern's going to spread out, and that's not one solid object moving together. So because it's dispersing, it's going to be losing energy in a very interesting way, I believe, downrange. I could be wrong on that, but I really wanted to put it to the test and find out. So today I'm only aired up to about 2100 psi. I can air this thing all the way up to 3000 psi, and it gets a little crazy up there. I've actually gotten shots all the way up into near, I think it was almost 70 foot-pounds of energy. I think it was like 550, 560 feet per second, somewhere around there with this. Again, this is 15.43 grain round balls, so it's like 123 grains or somewhere around there, or just over. Anyhow, but I really want to see how this thing acts downrange. So today I'm going to be shooting a little bit of ballistics gel as well as some water jugs here. And I got our first one. I got a 2-liter with a water jug right behind it, and where I'm standing at right here, I'm going to be shooting. This is roughly, we'll say, about 17 yards, and this is close to what I like to consider where you get peak performance out of this. So the spread really starts to open up right at about like 20 yards, 25 yards. The most efficient distance for this thing when you're shooting this is actually right from like this distance, about 17 yards to about 30 yards roughly, is really where this thing opens up at. And so I plan to probably shoot on some crows that have been really gathering heavily around the property, as well as possibly do some squirrel shooting and things of the sort with it. You've probably seen some videos in the past with it. I apologize for all the traffic noise here. You've probably seen some videos in the past from it. If you want to go check those videos out. But yeah, we're just gonna toy around a little bit and have some fun. So let's go ahead real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot these this water jug and stuff here. All right, cool deal. It doesn't look like we got penetration on our gallon jug from here. I could be wrong. Let's go take a look at it. So really cool, actually. This is our 2-liter here, and you can see that we did clearly in some area get passed through here. Let's see what we got going on. I see one. Look at this. This is pretty cool. There, but check that out. 2, 4, 6. We got all 8 pellets right there, and look at this one right here. This one is smashed half flat. So we actually have 2 exit holes, almost 3 right there, almost 3. Pretty cool stuff. So now I want to see what happens when we let's light this gallon jug up one time here. All right, so I just figured I would bring you on here, and you're probably wondering what's the deal with the magazine. This is actually a loaded magazine. The way I've been running this is I'll just load 7-shot into the, well, right into the barrel here, put 1 round ball into the magazine, and then empty behind it, and then just leave the magazine, everything inserted, so I'm ready. I can just cock it back, and I'm actually loading the number 8 last round ball into the chamber there, well, into the barrel. And once I do that, then I have this magazine that's still inserted. I have 23 grain Nielsen slugs that are in here that fly really nice out of this, and there's nothing on here, no moderator or anything, so it's really loud. I prefer just because of the fact that it is louder, kind of just cracking around with the round balls is pretty fun for me. But the magazine with the slugs is just so that if there's any follow-up needed whatsoever, as long, Obviously there's no quick follow-up on this, but what I do is I load like this here. And I can get 4 in initially like this, and then I just gotta charge the handle forward, and then I just do the last 4 like so. Try not to drop them, throw them all on the ground or anything like I just did the one. Anyway, so that's that. And now we're ready for our next one. All right, here we go again, right about 17 yards. And we're gonna go ahead and try out our gallon jug and see what we get. Pretty good hit. I kind of pulled it a little bit to the right. Let's take a look at it. All right, so I pulled this shot a bit to the right here. I just wanted to show you that group, this little pattern here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually 2 here, so we have 8. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 down here. So still a pretty tight little group there. Like I said, 17 yards, it does pretty well. Check that out. Well, we had enough energy that unfortunately we didn't go like long ways all the way through the gallon jug there, but nonetheless we did have a pass through, and on quite a bit. I wish I would have hit that a bit more center. Let's go ahead and load it up, try it one more time. Alright guys, so I've actually stepped back quite a ways. We're still right there. We're about just over 2,000 psi here. Pretty conservative on air. So I've stepped back quite a little bit here. We're probably about 25 yards out now. Let's see what it does 25 yards. That was a pretty solid hit, I think. Let's go take a look at it. No, it's not raining, but we got a good hit on this. So here you are. Again, that was like 20, possibly 25 yards where I'm standing back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Flew off a little low. Oh, look at that. Those are all pass-throughs. All still carrying a good bit of energy out there. So just to show you I'm not fooling around. Entrance, exit, entrance, exit. You get the idea. Alright, so cool. Pretty cool stuff. I got some ballistics gel, and we're going to shoot us some ballistics gel real quick. Let's get to that. Alright guys, so unfortunately, as you can see, I got a little bit of a boo-boo here. So this is a block of ballistics gel that I made, and I completely forgot. I was irresponsible and left this in the freezer all night, and something funky happened here where it developed this giant bubble inside. Not really sure what was the deal with that, but I usually let the stuff cool really well before I even stick it in the freezer, so I'm not sure why it rose like that. However, hopefully we'll get this thing to thaw out, and hopefully some of this rain will stay away, because it's looking like it wants to rain on us too. But as soon as this gets ready and functioning with us, because I don't want this to be frozen at all, I want it to be completely thawed out, which it'll be fine sitting out here for a few good hours. As soon as this thing thaws out, I'm gonna come back and we'll shoot it. I figured that while we were waiting for this ballistics gel here to kind of do its thing over there, we would take a shot at the lead plate just for the heck of it, so I can throw that in there so we can say that we did and see what it does. I'm at a really close distance. We're probably like 10 yards here. I'd feel pretty safe calling this 10 yards here. Let's see what this does. Well, I definitely didn't see a bunch of flying off, so that's good. Let's take a look at it real quick. So not a whole lot of damage. Look, this guy right here. He said, "Get me off of here. Get me out of here." Anyways, so not a whole lot of damage, but you know, some right good wallops there on the lead. Put some nice little divots in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, they were pretty much all trailing, so this is like right when it starts to kind of spread apart just a little bit here. And it looks like they're probably colliding in the air, and then starting to, as they're going in one straight line, they start colliding, then they're going to start kind of turning sideways and making that pattern. So that makes sense. But yeah, they all pretty much landed right within each other. You got a couple here in one spot, and maybe looks like 1 or 2 in that spot and 1 here, but they're all on there. Okay guys, so I want to try something a little bit different while it was fresh on my mind here. I have a 1/4 inch fresh, small, very expensive from Home Depot piece of 1/4 inch ply here. And I just want to pattern it from right here and just get a little penetration and some pattern and see how it is. The sun's blinding me 1 second and then it's running away the next. Let's see what happens here. Let's try to keep the board fairly clean so we can use a little bit. So I'm going to go top left of the board here with our first shot. This is about 17 yards and we're going to back it way up. All right, nice, good, clean shot there. And it looks like probably a lot of that went right on through. Let's take a quick look at that real fast. So here we go, 17 yards. And you see we got a nice little pattern there. And obviously clean right on through. And you can see we got all 8 pellets here. 3 in there, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And yep, nice clean pass through. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bump this thing right on out. I'm bumping myself right back out in the camera. And then we'll shoot this at a couple different distances while we're still waiting on this ballistics gel to thaw out, which is, it's actually moving along pretty quick, surprisingly. So yep, there we go. We're gonna keep track of that. 17 yards, and then we're gonna bump all the way out there to probably even like 50 yards, 55 or something, just for the heck of it. Let's do it. Okay, so what I've decided I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna walk out just a little bit here. I was gonna just go ahead and immediately start back here at 35, but I'm gonna go ahead and step right up here to we'll say, call it about 20, 25 yards. And well, we'll call it 25 yards, how about that? And take a shot there so we get a pattern, and then jump back to 35, and then just go ahead and push it out there to 55. I feel like that's fairly appropriate. Let's give it a shot. All right, look pretty good. Let's take a look at it. All right, pretty cool. So check it out. This is like our 17. I say 17 because it's from right back here, just behind you to that first target here. This is 15 yards exactly. So I feel like that's close to where I was standing from there to the board that I have out there. So I'd say that's about 15 to 17 yards. So there's like 15 to 17 yards, and there is, let's say, like 25 yards. Clean pass through on all of them, and still a nice, really respectable pattern there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm not really seeing number 8 on here. I could have had number 8 fly away, or I could have mistakenly not loaded number 8, or it could have just slipped right into one of these other holes. All right, who cares? Let's move on. Let's go ahead and push this thing on out there to 35, and then we're gonna try 55 yards. All right, so I double, quadruple made sure I put 8 shot in here. So we're gonna see what happens here now at 35 long yards. Okay, so 35 yards, we're gonna go for the 1/4 inch board here, and we're just, which by the way I forgot to mention a little bit earlier, I topped off again, so we're just right below that. Say it's like 2200 psi, 2100 psi, somewhere in that area. All right, so I'm gonna go for the top right of the board over here, so just to the right of all the other shots here, and then hopefully we'll be able to get a pattern on there. So let's see what happens. Sounded like a pretty good hit to me. Let's take a look at it. So I'm actually pretty sad about this, but you know, nothing to cry over. So I literally held, well, pretty much just right here to the right of it. Wanted to see how much drop we were going to get. So 35 yards, and we really started putting some drop on that thing, which, you know, I was holding a little bit for this, so to be expected, but which that probably would have more been somewhere down here. 35 yards, take this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All 8 got on the board, and you know, within like 9 inches of each other, they all got in there. Got a little concentration of them right here. A few of them made it through. You can take a look right here. Oh, where am I at here? There we go. A few of them made it through. So we got UPS just pulled up. So we got you know, a couple really good clean pass-throughs here. but some of them really didn't make it through. Let's see what we got that didn't make it through. So this whole area right here, pretty well, actually, no, I take that back. One of those did make it through. And you can actually just see on the back of the board here, you probably can't see it too well on the camera, but there's some nice bulging going on, and the wood is all split up here. So they were really close. They were really close, but that's lost quite a bit of energy out there at 35 yards. We're gonna stick this all the way out there now at 55 yards and see if we can hit this thing. All right, here we go. Check this out. I don't know if you can see it way out there, because 55 yards, even though that's a right respectable square out there, it's gonna be small with the red dot on it, and trying to put some spray on it from here. So I did air back up for this shot, and I actually aired up to where I know this thing is shooting the most powerful. Unfortunately, it only gets just like 4 shots where it's really powerhouse up there, really towards like above 60 foot-pounds, and then it's just done, and it's kind of all over the place between like, you know, 60 and then dropping down to like closer, a little above 50, and then kind of spiking around a little bit. This is not super consistent. It's best at like 2200 psi, and then it remains right there at the like 400 and like 40 feet per second range, like really consistently. So pretty nice. Anyways, I'm gonna hold over like a lot for this thing. As a matter of fact, I'll try to talk you through it here. So okay, I'm feeling like, okay, let me think here. Board right on. We got about I'm thinking like 2 feet of hold almost over the top of this thing. I have 8 pellets in here, so we're gonna see how many we can get on there. All right, here we go. And obviously I wouldn't shoot anything really at 55 yards. You know, maybe if there was like a coyote or something and I was just trying to run them off, you know, I can understand, but most likely I'd probably just be trying to shoot the coyote. So I don't know, maybe shoot some crows off when they get really loud in the morning. They harass me. All right, here we go. 55 yards. We're gonna give it about roughly 2 feet here of holdover, and I'm trying to go dead center of the board so I get most of it to drop right in the center here. Wow, you could definitely hear that we got contact out there, and it took quite a while. That flight time was pretty ridiculous there. All right, let's get the board and take a look at it. Pretty neat stuff here. Check this out. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. All right, so 17 roughly, 15 to 17 yards, maybe 25 yards. Here we got a group that's 35 yards, and even at 55 yards, check this out. Okay, this is 55, not 50. This is right above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And number 8, well, there's one stuck right down here in the board. And let's see. There it goes right there. And it's actually smashed out pretty good on one side. So, but check this out. What was very interesting to me. Well, I'm a little backwards here. Let's see. Okay, we have one over here. No penetration. Okay, that's just below. That would be pretty much right there where my finger is. We have this one up here. No penetration on the back there. Here we go. This one here, and this one here. Penetration there, and full right on through too. Pretty much look about consistent with the other ones. A little bit more wood is held on there than some of these. Like up here, you'll see this one is a bit more ragged out on the back, but for the most part, that's still carrying quite a bit of energy. And this one down here that we just popped out of the wood, though it was on the edge here, has a nice bulge actually. Yeah, look, all of these shots made a nice bulge on it. The wood's cracked here, split here, and right there. Yep, there's a shot there, dead center. So pretty impressive. I'm pretty impressed with that. Just joking around out here, just messing off, having fun. We're just waiting for this ballistics gel to do what it's supposed to do. Hopefully that little lump and everything will settle out of it, and it'll fall out real nice so that we can actually make use of it. Because I don't want to shoot it while it's rock hard, because it just makes no point. It makes no sense to do that. I really want to know what this thing's doing a bit more terminally. Obviously, the ballistics gel that I'm making over here isn't, you know, FBI ballistics gel, but it is nonetheless a really neat way of being able to see what you can do with, you know, some ballistics, some terminal ballistics. Anyways, Here we go, a little 1/4-inch board action there. Let's hopefully we'll get back with you here really soon, and this gel will be thawed out, and then we can get to shooting that. Okay guys, so it's actually the following day. I had to wait an entire night for this thing, and hope that the raccoons or nothing decided to come up here and check this out last night. But got our ballistics gel up here, and it feels pretty firm. Feels pretty solid like it was. I don't know if it's lost a lot of its mass here, because a lot of this water has actually leaked out of it here. Could be, could not be. I'm not sure how well this stuff really holds up. I know that in the past I've used this stuff and I've shot it to death, chunked it out in the woods, and then come back months later and it's still sitting there in big pieces. So through the heat and everything, I kid you not. So it should hold up pretty well. This obviously isn't, you know, FBI standards or ballistic standards here, but this is just going to give us a fun idea of what we're going to have to shoot at here. I'm going to try to keep a camera up rolling down here, and hopefully we'll be able to see this go through. Now, I had a bulge that happened in this when it froze. I guess I froze it for too long, and it did cause this bubble that's in the ballistics gel here in the very bottom part of it here. But hopefully it shouldn't really mess anything too much, because a lot of it actually collapsed in on itself last night. So it's pretty solid in there. It just looks to be a little tore up. Hopefully we'll get a good clear sight on our wound channel here. I'm going to step back, and I'm actually going to shoot it this one time at roughly 15 to 17 yards, and now I'm going to step back and maybe do like a 25-yard shot on the other side, just so we can see how much energy transfer we're getting here. All right, so we got our ballistics gel set up now, and we are roughly 17 yards back here. 8 shots of this 15.43 grain round ball here, and we're going to see if we can't put it all on this little ballistics gel here. Looks like I might have seen one of the pellets skip over the top of it. Let's go have a look at it though. All right, so here's our ballistics gel block, and to be honest with you, I wasn't very satisfied with this, and there's a reason right here. You can probably tell. Take a look at this, okay? One of these round ball here have just zipped clean through. As a matter of fact, look at that. There's one of those round ball right there. Now, oh, there's actually a couple of them down in here. So these almost made pass through right here at 17 yards. Now, there's absolutely no way that that would work, and this thing is just kind of all chewed up. I did a really poor job on this one, guys. Yeah, I did a really poor job, but that's all right. So we got a lot of it right here, the shot, and yeah, most of the stuff really just went right on through this gel here. Now, this gel is still pretty solid, okay? But I don't know, maybe it thawing last night lost a lot of its water weight or something of the sort, but that's what happens right there. Let's go ahead and back it up a little bit and see what happens. Hopefully you all can see any of that. You can definitely see this one on the top here, and that thing just zipped right on through. And I just feel like there's no way a small round ball like that would have went right on through with that amount of energy had this been, you know, an actual ballistics gel block. That's okay, it's still pretty fun stuff to shoot, and we're just going to destroy it anyways. Okay, so I've stepped back quite a ways here, so I would actually even say that we're probably a little closer to like 25 yards. So 25 yards roughly right here. Hopefully I'll be able to hit this gel. I actually got to step this a bit more over here to try to get a little bit straighter at it. So hopefully I'll be able to hit this gel from here and get the majority of it on shot there, or onto the gel, and we can see a little bit of something here. That looked pretty good. Let's take a look at it. All right, so even though this ballistics gel really did not hold up very well, clearly, actually look at this, it's splitting right here. Yeah, this stuff just really didn't hold up very well, but you can see though, that's still pretty cool how this tracked all the way through this wound channel right here, all the way out the end. And then look, we have another one that near made it out here, and somehow still made a pretty cool little wound cavity there. Now I know, again, I can just only stress this, that I'm aware that this gel isn't accurate, but still pretty cool nonetheless. And you know, even with that being said, I think I'm just gonna blast this thing up close, and then we can just mess around with that and see what it does right up close. Okay, so before this ballistics gel gets too destroyed, I want to shoot it up close just for the heck of it to see what it will do. So let's just go ahead and give it a go. This is pretty much point blank. Wow, yeah, That actually did quite a bit more damage than I thought it was going to do. Why don't we go ahead and try to grab one into slow-mo real quick. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I'm just out here having a little bit of fun with shooting some multi-round ball out of this 22 caliber Umarex Fusion. But still a lot of fun, guys. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. That's all I'm asking you to do is give it a like, okay? You don't even have to subscribe unless you want to see some more from this crazy old circus, because YouTube just does not want my content out there, I promise you that. Just give it a thumbs up and maybe it'll circulate a little bit more. If you like it, thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. As always, I'll catch you on the next one.